Okay. No one's going to hear that cold open. No one will hear it. Welcome to Isn't It Obvious? Where things are obvious. I'm your host, Sera. Joining me is Phil and Micah. Isn't it obvious that exams and tests should be at least half of the time open book or open note?
What about exams for things that people really care about? I don't know,
Absolutely, you should be okay, I understand that there's a skill of being able to recall information, but I do think being able to look something up and research is a skill as well. And honestly, how many times in your life have you had to know on the spot a fact or something that
excuse me, pushes up glasses.
If you
look at what is actually needed in terms of memory retention, that in fact looking at primary sources while it's being tested on the knowledge that you have is counterfactual and in fact intuitive.
Anyway, so as a avid bar trivia goer, having the ability to recall bullshit trivia knowledge is kind of useful, especially when there's prizes. But in your everyday life or in even your career, right? How many times are you not going to be able to go and look up the reference you need for a question you might have?
Well, I think what Phil was getting to, the topic is dependent on whether you're allowed the open sources or not. If you're going through history, that's a bit counterintuitive to have.
Why wouldn't you be able to go look it up? Question is on what date what date did Columbus sail the ocean blue?
Well, the specific date is up to argument, but it seems to be mid to late April of 1492.
Yeah.
Oh, see?
But
because that was the calmer seas.
But why would you need to specifically know that specific
my counter
date,
to that,
right?
Why do you need to know about Columbus?
I mean, fair. I was just a stupid history question that I had a rhyme to.
But to my point, history is one of those things that you know it or you don't, and having open sources will only help you refine the right answer, but knowing what the right answer is generally is better.
See, I don't know, I always thought just being able to say oh well what what was the context or something. Most tests are say they're probably designed to be multiple choice and you just circle the right answer. I don't think that's really beneficial. I don't really think it's really, you're not really learning anything, really.
You're learning to put in 8 hours a day
regurgitate
and do
information.
the same shit over and over again and be a good worker
I think it would be more beneficial if you were writing an essay or doing explain in in 2 paragraphs what was the context of this war of whatever or who were the key players in whatever. I mean, it does put a little bit more burden on the teacher to have to
do their job.
Read through. Okay, but they don't get paid enough to
Every history teacher I had was also a coach, and I don't think they were hired for the teaching abilities.
Probably not. I don't know. I just think a lot of, for math, for example, I don't know that you would do that. You wouldn't. I mean, maybe an open book for formulaic stuff, if you're doing calc or something or trig.
But then you just have to know what to do with the calculator.
Yeah, but maybe you're trying to find a specific thing, and you don't know which specific equation to use. If you are open source, then you'd be okay, well, here's the equation. I don't have to remember the fucking equation. I can just know that I need to use this particular one, and then I can fill in the the variables. I think that's honestly more likely that that's what you're going to be doing in your life. If you happen to go into a field that would require you to figure things out via equations, I don't know.
Engineer.
Oh no.
Do you remember your equations, or do you have to look them up?
No. I am not falling into this damn trap. I am just gonna just nod and smile
Sure,
and not
yes,
say a damn
maybe.
thing.
You're supposed to have 10 minutes uninterrupted.
Oh god, you guys, when I listen to this and my voice, I just want to slap me. So future Philip listening to this is gonna feel like he's gonna slap past Philip. I'm just gonna do it right now. Just
That was the most gentle slap.
I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to. Okay.
Fake discipline.
Here,
Fake self-discipline. I don't
fake
believe you.
self-discipline.
I don't believe
is
you
a
at all.
Micah, that was a good slap.
You deserved it.
But you know that wasn't a real slap because, like, it didn't sound like a real slap.
It was a good wrestling slap, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and that's as real as anything.
Yeah,
'Cause
that was me teeing up his chin and then just. Rah!
But that doesn't sound like it hit a face.
How do you know what's okay? Anyway,
Sarah, come here. See? Yeah.
Just so the audience knows, Micah did a wrestling slap, but also for the audience, wrestling is real. Like, I know people say it's fake, but at the way end, it is real. Like, I don't know why people laugh at me when they think I'm ironic when I'm saying it, but I'm not. Like, I honestly believe it. But when the stakes are high, it's real. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's theater fighting.
Yeah.
They're actually doing the things. They're just doing the things as safely as possible.
It's also improv, so at the way end, they're trying to, like, no one believes me. I'm a crazy person. To answer your question about tests,
No, you're not. Every wrestling fan agrees with you.
Thank you. Wait, wrestling fans are crazy? Ah, fuck.
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword there,
Yeah.
but you get the golden up.
Thank you. Okay, 10 minutes uninterrupted. Here it goes. I'm going to condense it to like 10 seconds. Exams for engineering are not meant to problem solve. They're just meant to weed out the weak and then rinse and repeat. So I had an exam where I had to remember the fifth digit, significant digit of a coefficient. So it's like 5.97324. No calculators allowed. No formulas, no crib sheet. Like, you just had to do it. And I was like, sir, what is the purpose of this? And then the professor said, I am the professor, I write the exams, and you're the student, and you do the exams. And I'm like, okay.
So that goes into my
sucks.
second part of my Isn't It Obvious? Isn't it obvious we need fucking context for why we are doing the stupid assignments we're doing? Because
No.
sometimes it's not super
because-
obvious to the student, like, why.
But much like this professor, it is. We're just weeding it out.
Yep. The context for him and the context for me at that moment.
But that's a bullshit reason. That fucking professor
No, that's
is
why
a
1,000
dick.
levels courses exist at college, where you're crammed in and you have nothing but like post grad or
How
like
is,
grad school
how
kids
is that
teaching.
fucking useful?
It's
It's
very
not useful. It's profitable.
It's super
Yeah, that's
profitable.
exactly what it is. It's fucking profitable. Oh, let's
Let's
scam
milk some
our
kid for
yeah.
20
Let's
grand for a year.
scam
and
our
fail.
yeah, and it's not this kid. Usually, it's the kid's parents. A lot of the times, but yeah, let's just scam these fucking customers in quotes. They're paying us to teach them how to do a thing and gain those skills. Except we're weeding them out.
You gotta weed them
Yeah.
out.
That's
though.
fucking stupid.
Like, I talked with a friend from, I'm not going to mention his name, but you know him. He went to Uruguay, and he went to his engineering school for 8 years. Now, his engineering school was free, paid by the wonderful socialist state. So, what they did to be able to weed down their engineers were to make it hellish as possible, because lab time later on is expensive. So you only have so many slots available at the time, but the policy is that it's free for everybody. And then, I think even, the nice university in Georgia, is it Emory? They stopped,
Yes, we're gonna slander Emory.
Yep.
Go ahead.
they stopped doing SATs and ACTs. They're like, come on aboard
As
now.
they should.
As they should. So lots of people from all over the country are like, yay, I can go into this really good university. And in my brain, I'm like, they gotta get you.
Mm-hmm.
Because what they're gonna do is say, look, for engineering was really hard for me because I'm really a dumbass, but I stuck with it. And my parents paid for it, so I had so many advantages. I had a car, so I could drive to internships. I could be accepted because no one else could get there because I had a car. Like, this is just weird shit that money can just do for you. So thanks, Mom. But the
And
other
money.
and money and thanks, money and Mom. But the problem for me in my experience is that it ain't about teaching people. It's about getting people into I remember my 1000s class for engineering, there were 150 kids. That's for electrical, computer science, manufacturing, and mechanical, because it's a small school. And then by the time it was done, my graduating class for mechanical engineering was 12.
See, that sounds like bullshit to me.
And
That's higher education.
Electrical engineering, much worse.
Like, I transferred in. I went to a community college to get
They're
my
not
associates.
fucking doing their job then. They're not
No,
teaching
they are
them.
doing, no,
they're
they are
not.
doing their job. Their job is to make money.
Yeah, their job is to make money, but no, they're not doing what they are supposed to be doing, is teaching these people what they came to learn.
Oh no, they want, it's a double-edged sword in a good way for them. One, when engineers get out of that college, and it's not a good college, but when they get out, the people that survive, you know, they go for the jobs and stuff, and then they will, like, ducks pick ducks. So my real first engineering job, my manager's manager came from that college. He said, yep, you're in, even though it's a party school. So, like, it also means that, like, the people coming out have more memory or something. So it's kind of like, oh, it makes us look good because we're not just getting any yokel. The second part, too, which is really disgusting, is that not only does it reduce lab time and make it more easy for the student to get access to CAD computers or electrical engineering equipment, which are like thousands of dollars per just little doodad, like tens of thousands of dollars. It gives you more one-on-one time with the staff and faculty. At least that's in my small podunk college. Like, I'm sure at the University of Minnesota it's different. But for at least my area, like, it was, you wanted it to be as small as possible. The third most disgusting thing is I didn't get accepted to the U of M. That's why I'm like a chip on my shoulder, because I really want to go there.
Yeah, but U of M was worse about that. You met with TAs before anything.
Oh, that's terrible. We never had TAs. Anyway, the third one is these people, you want to weed them out as soon as they can as mercy killing. Because if they can't handle the first year, like, they ain't going to handle year 4. Like, it just sucks. The whole program is you just hit your head on a table, and then if you still have any brain cells left, you'll get a degree. Like, that's the whole point of my experience in engineering school. It's not a fun time. It sucks. It's not easy, at least for me. And I feel like 90% of those students felt the same.
Well, it's like, it doesn't have to be easy, but, like, you should be learning skills, right? You should be learning what you
Yes,
came,
and
what
you're
you're
learning
fucking paying to go there for, right?
But that education you're getting is that you are not cut out for higher education. That's your lesson.
Yeah.
See, that's not fair, to be
It's not
honest.
no, because
'Cause
if you can't handle it, you can't handle it. What's not fair about that?
What do you mean you can't handle it? Like, it's... I mean,
If you can't put through the drudgery of early 20s in school, how are you going to do that drudgery for the next 30 years?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a thing that you're going to do. It sucks. People only get through it because they wanted a cushy salary. That's it.
No, which is kind of sad.
Like, imagine if you continued your legal education and you became a lawyer,
I would be miserable.
but you'd be fucking rich
Yeah.
because you could put up with it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
have a
I
much
could
better
have,
bar.
but, like,
Mhm.
I wasn't going in for legal, though. I was going in for psych and sociology. Like, that's what I was more interested in, to be honest. I had a
Right.
minor in legal studies
Yeah.
because it just sort of came with it, and I'm like, I have enough credits for the minor, so I'll take it.
But it's like, that's the college experience is a lot more rooting out. And it is meant to be as profitable as it can for the state because, you know, you have to pay for that big stadium for your football team
Yeah.
with, like, coastal rejects to play at
Also,
in order to attract more people to...
Can I also say, like, fuck tenured positions?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck tenure.
Yeah.
Like,
and
I
not the
underst-
good coitus way, too. Like, you know. the one
Although
that's
there
like-
are professors who would indeed enjoy, tenured professors who would indeed enjoy coitus with their students for a grade.
Show notes. Article in the show notes, fellas.
Anyway,
I've taken many shots in the mouth for a B+. Is that...
I'll just
should I remain
say
higher?
I dropped that class
A minus.
immediately. I didn't need
That's a
it.
minus. A B+ is a
God,
plus.
he was such a piece of shit.
Yeah, tenure positions, it's gross.
Well, it's like with any bit of education, like how the teachers union has it, where it's like first in, last out is kind of bullshit, because then that is that...
Of course, non-tenured positions who are looking to become tenured also open to bribery.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You give them a good review on their... You promise a good review on their
Yep.
end of the whatever, and you get a
Yeah.
fucking A.
Yep.
So annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like-
Because it's the same bullshit you deal with at most jobs.
Well, that is a life skill right
Yeah,
there that I
that's
learned.
true.
That is absolutely a life skill I learned. I still think, though, like a lot of classes would benefit their students more. Merlin,
Well, since we have this.
why? A lot of students would benefit more from open book.
I agree. I feel like if the purpose of school was to teach people, there should be like 3 levels of testing. One would be like the practical, right? Like, hands-on or something. The second one would be academic, which can
Yeah,
be
like-
split into 2.
Yeah, like I'm not saying
open.
everything should be open book or everything should be open note, but at least a portion of it. Because,
Yeah.
like, honestly, how many times in your life are you expected to just know on the spot? Like, most people are like, "Hey, I need an answer to this question. Get back to me when you figure it out on Monday or whatever."
But that's dealing with the managerial capitalist system of America.
Oh my god, here we go, Micah.
I blame mass media. Oh, sorry, damn it, wrong one.
Social media?
Yep. No. Also with America.
Okay.
My bingo is not right. Sorry, go ahead, Mike.
But back to your thought of like changing how education is. I think we should change education to where you just throw everything at kids and see what sticks, and throw everything at them the next year and see what sticks, and then like form them into where their aptitudes lie.
Or where their interests lie, because
As
the
well.
kid, even if they're maybe not, like maybe it's not their forte or something, but they are really interested in it, they're going to be more likely to put the time and effort into learning that skill, even if they might not have the, initial talent or initial, what's the word? Innate skills, right?
Instinct.
Like we should
Yeah.
gamify it where it's not a pass fail or a grade system. It's merely a percentage of success.
Isn't that what the grade system is? A
No,
percentage of
because
success?
an
Kind of?
F, regardless what it is a black mark on any
Yeah.
transcript.
Yes, but
But
it's still
if there's
50.
like-
it's
but
below
if-
50.
Sure, but if somebody gets a 42 in mathematics, but like an 88 in 3 different science categories, then any school that can teach higher level, even though mathematics isn't
Their
needed,
strength. Well,
but it's not their strength, but their strength lies elsewhere. That can still be cultivated
Mm-hmm.
to something that's useful.
You'd think that this would make the most sense, but I'm actually convinced that we love our current system of madness. Like, it's very easily bribable, corruptible, like bargainable. Like, it's great if you're just a complete asshole and shithead that doesn't want to actually do the work. This system is perfect.
You
for
can always
that.
give a handy to Coach Randy.
Well, shower down and get an A. Like, sorry, that's
gross.
Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm thinking.
Wait,
but-
are we at Penn State now?
Well, lacrosse is a beautiful sport.
no, not again.
This is it's ripe with problems. Rife. Oh God, damn it. Anyway, I don't even know what I was gonna say.
Both of those.
Ew.
It is ripe and rife.
Gross.
I'll just stop talking forever. That's it.
No,
That's my
continue,
last word.
please.
Cease and
It's quite,
desist.
quite amusing.
Damn it. Okay, I'll take the bait. I feel like we like the system because those that graduate from it, they understand tips and tricks, and then they
Yeah, but
have.
those are the
The
fucking
game.
people saying like,
They get
no,
it.
college debt should not be washed away.
Forgiven.
I had to pay for it.
Correct.
I paid mine off.
Fuck
You should
those
have to do it
people.
too.
Yes.
Fuck them.
Fuck those people.
Yeah.
That's a horrible mentality.
It
It is, but it's.
I survived cancer. You should get chemo because of it.
Yeah, why would you get the cure for cancer if I had to survive 10 grueling years of chemo? It's like, wow, really? You're gonna do that? Like, that's kind of nuts, even for you.
Yeah.
But
Excuse me while I put my hat on.
Yeah.
You know what color it is.
Isn't it funny that when people get organized or fanatic, they all wear matching hats? Sorry.
They do.
The problem I have
That's
with...
what I thought about the pink pussy hats too.
Yeah,
At least those ones were cute.
they
Are
are.
they?
Yeah.
It
They're
did
just really ugly, malformed beanies.
Yeah, but
It's like
They
it's-
were
it's
adorable
everyone's first
and
crocheted
hand. Yes,
hat.
they were.
That's
they
all
were,
it was. It
they
was
were
everyone's first
hand
crocheted
knit
hat.
and adorable.
First of all, true. Second of all, you can tell which ones were first and
Yeah.
which ones... Like,
Yeah, which were profesh.
Yeah. Like,
Is that a ditto on your head? What? No.
I will
would
go
take-
more into this, but it's going to ruin my other podcast idea, Micah. Thank you very much.
That's what I do.
Okay.
I'm here to sabotage.
well, join the club in my brain that self-sabotages me on a daily basis. Wait, I said too much.
Pretty sure all of our brains do that to us on a regular basis, so don't worry about it. Or worry about it, but know that your worry isn't just your worry.
This makes me
Or
worry.
absolutely worry about it, but then you don't have to worry because you know that in 4 billion years Earth won't exist anymore. And
See,
any
this
trace
is
of
how
your
I
failures.
fucking deal with life.
Yeah,
this
that's bad.
That's
it's
very
not
bad.
the
That's
indifferent.
bad.
No, the
Yeah.
indifferent universe puts it into like a really positive perspective for me.
No,
I
it
can
doesn't.
I can
Lord.
be like, you know,
It means that you are absence of acting
I
in that
really-
situation
I
because
really-
nothing matters well after your death. It
I
doesn't matter
am
what you're doing in
really
life.
comforted by that.
Wow.
Micah. I am actually very much
Most
comforted.
people
Nothing I do
I'm
really
confident. I'm confident in my
matters.
atheism because I know that my actions aren't being weirdly deterministic by some incredibly selfish
Yeah,
child
and
God.
you're not being like tallied against
brings me
whether or not you're
comfort,
going
but-
to eternal damnation or I don't know, bliss.
Imagining 4 billion years in the future, twice the time that Earth has purportedly been a planet, that doesn't bring me comfort because I won't be there.
Who cares? That's really narcissistic. Why do you care if you're going to be there or not?
Because I don't affect anything there.
Why do you care if you affect anything?
Because I can affect things here now.
I mean, yes, but why is that important?
Because that's how interacting with other universes works.
I mean, you can, but like, why is it important?
Because that's kind of what life is when you're a sentient species.
We're having a really like existential
Not really.
difference of need here. I do not need to.
You just really like passing the buck along.
No, I think I just would rather have not like existed at all. Like that's my philosophy in life. I would just rather have not ever been born and to
Yeah,
not
you can
have.
wish in one hand and shit in the other.
Yes.
But please tell me which one happens first.
Exactly. So I'm here. So I'm dealing with it. But like.
You might as well think about it as the hero
But I
now.
also don't care. Like I don't want to impact. I don't want to be like have an impact. Like I would rather just get my life done. Just like have a nice content life, live it out, and then be done. And that's it.
But life is pain. Life is always pain.
See, difference in philosophy here. Just
But life is always pain.
it's not. Okay, Hitler, but no.
That's not a Hitler statement.
It is. It's his whole book.
No.
Yeah.
My struggle is not
Yeah.
life is pain.
Yeah, it is.
No, life is pain is Buddhist.
No, is it?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
one of the
but
4
that
tenets.
symbol for Buddhism looks
Yeah,
awfully
it's true.
similar to
Except
something
that's
else.
not Buddhist. That is Taoist?
I have no idea.
No.
Some
Was
Just
it Hindu?
saying.
Was it Hindu?
some
Just
Eastern
saying.
Was the
religion.
swastika Hindu?
Birds of a feather, man. That's all I'm
Anyway.
gonna say.
Do I have to look up the 4?
Life doesn't have to be pain.
Excuse me,
Pain-
I only had 1 philosophy class, so I can't draw this naturally from my brain.
I had a philosophy class too.
What are the 4 true paths of Buddhism then?
Oh no,
That's
not-
religion.
no.
Less
that's
philosophy.
philosophy.
It's
Philosophy.
not really.
Yes,
there's,
it is.
There's a philosophy in the religion, but Buddhism would, I guess, fall under.
Buddhism doesn't believe in a god.
Doesn't matter. It's still a religion.
That's
You don't have to.
yeah.
You don't. No, you don't
Part
have
of
to
a
have.
religion is a conclusion of
No.
an external deity.
Not a deity, a higher power, which does not necessarily mean God.
Yeah.
So there.
I don't know. I actually, okay, so my parents are obviously very, hi mom, super influenced by Buddhism. Like, I think I said this joke. Sorry, mom, I'm going to make a joke at your expense. But it's like, I'll live a great Christian life so that I can come, like, in the next life as a, as a bird or something. And it's like, what? You go to Mass, Catholic Mass every Sunday.
But
and this is
still
what you
have-
think? Like, how does this make
That's-
any sense? And that's kind of what my
Catholicism
grandma had.
doesn't believe
Oh,
in
yeah,
reincarnation.
it doesn't matter. So, I was talking with this
far as I
guy
know.
who was very,
Depends on what heaven is.
what I imagine to be conservative, and he made this argument about like the new laws that are enacting in the U.S. as of the summer of 2022. And then he's like, "Well, aren't you upset that the U.S. is becoming less Christian? And because our morality and ethics are derived from a book."
Which is super sad.
No, but also incorrect.
And incorrect.
Religion doesn't have a monopoly on morality.
It's agreed.
Moving on, he's just gonna this is his argument, and that this book worked wonders in making the Western civilization, which everyone benefits from.
Is your friend
Everyone.
also listen to Ben Shapiro?
Okay.
No,
Maybe some
Go on.
Venn
Go on. Go on.
Maybe my friend is Ben Shapiro. Shit.
Ooh, now we understand why.
And so then I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, well, I mean, he's like, well, I don't like Christianity, but it's the best one that's out there to teach morals and ethics. And I'm like, well, what about Buddhism? And he looked at me and he's like, Buddhism isn't a religion. And I was like, oh, I'll tell my grandma that, I guess, because, you know, she was really into that. But I guess since you just declared it not, she's going to be really upset, man. Like,
No,
she's
there
going to
is
be
a religion
"Ooh,
that
man,
is
that's-"
Buddhist, but I don't.
Like,
I think
yeah,
Buddhism
there's-
can also just be a philosophy.
It can be like, yeah, a spiritual philosophy that you just like live your life by, but like, what is it, Theravada Buddhism or something, are pretty like fundamental. Like they are like there's rules and shit that you gotta follow and stuff. And
Mahatavani
it's
Buddhism
more-
is different. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
Mahatma Gandhi, who?
Religions.
There was a Buddhism that has a flavor with an M. Kind of like
Yeah,
M
probably.
string theory, but it's like M string Buddhism. I don't know, man. I just work here. Look, I just want to say that I don't really understand why we have to have a true purpose in order to have a good time. And in the other argument, like for the heat death of the universe, I'm like, well, I find like, Sarah, your point of view is extremely, I was going to say disturbing, but like more surprising to me than anyone else's. Like Micah, I believe with, which is we have an ultimate goal, right? Which is to end, like to make life less shitty, right? That's kind of what the goal is. Like we're not going to hit
I mean,
perfect,
if you're here,
but-
you might as well, right?
But you're saying like, hey, life is so shitty that like absolute zero is better than this, and I'm like, whoa.
Not exactly what
Whoa.
I'm saying, but it's more like,
Prune down the hyperbole a bit.
yeah, I was like, it's not quite what I'm saying, because I do think like, okay, I'm here, I'm living in my life right now, and the choice is to continue living or to not, right? Well, the not part sounds really awful.
Yeah.
The dying part, the being dead doesn't bother me. It's the dying part that sounds awful. So we'll put a pass on that.
Okay.
So I'm stuck here in this shitty life, in this shitty world. I might as well make the best of it. I might as well put some effort into making shit less shitty. But I also, in the back of my mind, am like, nothing I really do really matters. Like, it might matter in the moment, it might matter in my experience, and it might matter to the people who I affect in the moment. But ultimately, if I make a mistake, the heat death of the universe, whatever, right?
Mhm.
Like, big fucking deal. Like, ultimately, my life is one of billions and billions that don't really, like, I don't need to make an impact. I can make an impact, and it's nice when I affect people positively. I do agree with that, but like, it's not that important to me to make that my purpose in life. Like, it's not something that super matters to me. Like, it just sort of is better that I do that.
It doesn't have to be a purpose in life. It can be a never-ending side quest
There's
of just.
It is an ending. There is an ending, though. There's no not.
I mean, for
Throughout
you
the
guys, there's an ending.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
because you have eternal
Yeah.
life in your future.
Yes,
Yes.
and hell, right? That's
I mean, probably.
Catholicism.
I did
Yay.
see a great little comic that was like, this dude's plucked down to hell and meets Dean. He's like, oh my god, where am I, hell? Like, yeah, we got margaritas over there, and you can see the tiki bar down there. Watch out for the pool. It might be a little too hot, but you'll get used to it. Wait, what? I thought everything down here is supposed to be all damnation. No, that was like heaven's rules. They never come down here and check. Then the guy turns away, rips off his mask as an angel. Is like, oh fuck!
It's just more fun.
Yeah, no.
Well,
No, but like one should always want to try to improve the situation
Sure.
they exist in.
Yeah.
And the heat death of the universe is pointless to that because
It's not though. I mean,
yeah, it is.
puts
because
things into context.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It doesn't at all.
It does. It makes me feel very comforted. Like that.
Sure,
Nothing
when you
I
look at a
do.
time scale and this little
Yeah.
pinpoint is your entire lifespan.
Yep. And so it doesn't really matter. It's fine.
But it does when you zoom in on that pinpoint because
Not
you aren't
really.
going to see the year 3000 and you're not going to see the year 1800.
So, yeah. So.
So you are where you're at.
Yeah. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter. Not really. Nothing I do really matters.
But it does.
Not really.
When you zoom in, when you zoom out, no, nothing matters. Because then it's just the universe doing what the universe does.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't matter what civilizations are on what planets, because it won't matter, because eventually their stars will
It's
expand.
very comforting to me. It's very comforting to
But
me.
then you zoom in to the time in which
Why-
people live.
Yeah, so?
That's where the interesting shit happens.
I mean, if
The
you
heat of
find
the
it...
universe is not interesting.
Micah thinks humans are interesting. I don't.
Just start looking at them like some entertaining monkeys.
They're not that entertaining.
It's pretty entertaining.
I
I mean,
disagree. Some of them are. Some are entertaining.
Look, we-
like
we
the
made-
writers. The writers are
We
entertaining.
made cricket a sport.
I don't
That's hilarious.
watch cricket.
Yeah, you should
Also-
start. It's fun.
I have no interest in most sports.
It is a
Or
it is
movies.
an alien language.
See, this is
Oh my
another thing.
God.
Like, I don't really care to watch. Like, I don't watch sitcoms. I barely watch any shows. I read a few books. Haven't done that in a while. Thank you, depression. Yeah, I don't. All my hobbies are like slowly disappearing one by one. Yeah, I don't really have much left.
All right, let's play cribbage then.
I don't want to play cribbage. It's
I
not
like-
that interesting to
I
me.
like
You ain't goddamn hobby. Cribbage is great.
I have a hobby. I paint my nails sometimes.
That doesn't sound like a hobby.
It is. It's
It's a
fun.
hobby.
It is.
It sounds like an occasional artistic work.
It's
It's not a hobby.
It's a hobby. I have a shit ton of polish. I have so much
I'm
polish.
sorry, Sarah. We submitted.
Guys, I have so much fucking polish. So much polish.
I can.
4 bins worth.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we only saw a small selection as we went up to the studio to record this, and I was like, "That's a lot of polish." But now that you mentioned 4 bins, I'm sure that's not even a one. Yeah, okay, so you have probably.
I have.
That's just for metallic shades.
I mean, no. I have hollow and flakies and metallics and
But why paint,
multi-chromes
why paint your nails if
cremes.
the heat death of the universe is going to happen eventually?
because they look pretty.
Oh, but they won't look pretty in 4 billion years
You're
when
right.
the sun expands.
They won't
So why do it?
because I want to at the time.
But at the time, so why not invest more in what you can do at the time?
But who cares? I'll do it if I want to. Just if I don't want to, I'm not going to do it.
Okay, I don't
Anyway.
want to slander your philosophy, but it does make me think about the societies grow rich when old men plant trees with shade they will never experience, right?
Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, and I'm like,
I'm glad there are people who are not like me in the world.
okay, fair enough.
Then why'd you water your patch today? If it doesn't matter, and heat death of the universe. But you did.
I did. Because I do want that grass to grow in. Because I live here and it's my grass. So I want it to look nice. But that's the only reason.
I feel like
It's
this is-
not for it's not for the future owner. It's
Maybe
not
it's just lizards have a different firmware, and
I think it is.
follow the same results. Like, oh, we'll water grass and we'll be nice to each other for the most part.
Yeah,
but then,
because
like,
it's easier that way for me in my
Lizards.
experience.
Lizards.
But it has nothing
Lizards.
to do with the future or it is. It
I
is.
don't.
It is a different philosophy and different perspective.
Well, I'll
Well,
just,
Really
like,
bad Buddhist.
well, it's like I'm not a Buddhist. I'm
that's
atheist.
what a Buddhist would say. Sorry.
It's true. No, no. I was gonna say it's just kind of the same, like how I find comfort in not needing to matter or not mattering. Is how other people who are religious find comfort in not like that there's a plan and that nothing they do is like there's some special chosen by God person, right? But nothing they do will get, like, as long as they follow the tenets and as long as they believe that, Christ died for their sins, they'll get into heaven. It'll all be fine.
Excuse me, I have to put a hat on quick. That's right. That's why when you look at what Trump was talking about, he was merely bringing up the fact that this is a Christian nation that was raised on Christian values.
And those people find a lot of comfort in thinking that there's like a destiny set and that
What are
there's
you
like
talking
a
about,
purpose
critical race
that they're
theory?
part
That
of.
offends me as a white person.
And that they're part of this big old
And as a
plan.
fellow person.
That this big old plan for them is all set out for them, and that they're doing the Lord's work or whatever, and that's their purpose, and that's what they find comfort in. I am the opposite. I'm very comforted by that there is no fucking stupid ass plan.
No, I will disagree on one. I agree with you on everything but one. I don't think they find it comforting that there is a grand plan, and I mean they do. But I think what they find more comforting is that in their delusion, they're more superior, right?
Probably
it's
part of
also-
it.
Well, it's a built-in community too. Like the fact that Protestantism is as broad as it is the fact that you can have so many subsets under the same authority of the Bible,
Heretics.
regardless how much
I mean,
or as
yeah.
little
Yeah.
that they actually use the Bible to teach whatever they're teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, evangelicals.
I mean, any of them really.
Vatican.
Yeah, well, Lutherans aren't bad.
Yeah, they are.
Depends.
Oh, that's bad.
They're lazy.
Which makes them
Better.
the worst.
Are
Or
they
the
the
least
ant-
worst.
Well, the two
Better
are
than-
really split into two groups, right? Heretics and like heretics that hate gays. Like that's the two groups that I see it as a Catholic. So
Well, for Protestants?
yeah.
Oh, no. You forget the heretics that hate Catholics too, but are fine with gays.
What?
Yeah.
What is this group? What is going on? They hate Catholics.
Yep.
They're fine with gays. Is it the Pope?
Anabaptists.
Okay, that's right.
I don't know. They all sound the same to me. At some point, they're just all
Because
like.
nobody hates Catholics more than Catholics. So.
It's
I
not
never
a
said they hated them more, but that's part of whom they hate.
Okay, well that's fine then. They can join the
It's
club.
actually just the Church of England.
hilarious.
Mm. Anabaptists. They don't have any freaking values.
They're
It's
just
just
Anabaptist.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
it doesn't. It does matter.
No.
Well, is
Yes.
Anabaptist term of
Ultimately-
born again Christians, right?
Ultimately, none of it matters.
Yes, it
and I am
does.
so comforted by that.
This is very disturbing because most people would be very, very, very scared and, I guess, really sad. Also, terrified, terrorized.
It's like true freedom, not having to like worry so much about like what you're doing. Like obviously, in the moment, you have to like contextualize. Okay, well, what are the consequences of my actions? You do have to think about that, right? But like, it's comforting to know that, 100 years I won't exist. So, big fucking deal.
So why do you have to qualify to the 4.5 billion years until when the sun expands and will engulf the Earth? Why?
Anyone can share my philosophy.
No, I'm saying you
Even 400,
You
even
put
400,
in a more reasonable
500.
end date that is not involving the heat death of the universe, because that's beyond what your expected life is. So we've already narrowed it down from 4 billion years from now to 100 years from now,
Yeah,
with the same outcome.
yeah, me being dead.
Shrink that down. a
Why
little bit
why
more.
shrink it?
See what you can do whilst you're alive.
It doesn't matter though.
But it does.
It doesn't matter in context.
It will matter in context.
No,
because it matters
doesn't.
whomever you help. You will plant a tree and never see its shade, but somebody will.
Maybe. Or someone else can do that. Someone else can do that. I'll leave that to the people who actually like want
And see,
to
this
make
is
an
why
impact. Want
Lizards
to.
make policies for old men to clean up nuclear power plant waste things because it, I guess, cracked and radioactive things went all over the sea. And lizard people would be like, all people over 70 now, you guys have to go clean the beaches because apparently if you guys die, it won't be as bad.
I
as
feel
other
really
people."
offended that you think a lizard would do that.
Yeah, the lizard would send in the lizard. How else are you gonna get God fucking Zilla?
I mean, fair, but
That's true.
No,
this
the
is why I'm
lizard
not-
would be like-
Mothra.
the lizard would be like, I guess we're just not going to live there anymore. Guess we'll go find another place to live.
Yeah,
Just
that's true.
We're just
Yeah.
gonna go off and
How dare I think that a lizard would actually like
you don't want to do something.
do something,
Like,
create action plans.
some actionable plan here. Yeah, no.
Meeting minutes. No.
No,
way,
no. In
that's
fact, I'd
ridiculous.
rather just move on. Guess I'll just take what I can and go find a new place.
Wait, so Idiocracy wasn't about the stupefaction of America? It was about the overtake of the lizard people?
No, Idiocracy.
That
is
was you're confusing that with what the fuck is his name? Ike?
like Eisenhower Ike.
No. What the fuck was his name? Icky? No. The guy who wrote he had like the monoatomic gold with the lizard people in the fourth dimension of the fuck was his name?
David Icke?
David Icke, thank you. That guy.
Yeah, but he wasn't about lizard people. 'Cause
Yes, he was.
No, lizard people existed, but they were not you.
It's true. Those are a different
They were
type.
actual lizard people in the Hollow Earth.
Yes.
No, I mean
not
we're
lizards. Not lizards in their soul. Just lizards.
Yeah.
No,
Like
they were from the Solarian
something.
Something.
Sorry, I went off on a weird tangent there. What were you
a little
saying?
bit.
No, I was gonna say that there's no real reason to blame lizard people for all of our problems because lizard people are practical people, they're not really people, they're lizards.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like all of our people that own any sort of like power or decision-making abilities all happen to be lizards.
Well,
Even though they're like,
that's why
a
they're
lot
all
of
invested
work.
in fossil fuels. They want to make the Earth warmer, so they're more comfortable.
Oh.
Have you seen Mitch
No,
McConnell?
lizards are lazy. You guys are confusing us. Like, it's not...
I don't think you get to speak for your entire species.
I don't, but, like, okay, I know, like, people think lizards are these, like, cold reptilian, like, you know, don't care
Are you
about
saying
anyone
Mitch McConnell
else.
is not one of you?
He's a turtle.
That's true. Turtles are different
Different.
from lizards.
They are.
Yeah.
They're aquatic. They're
No.
water dwellers. Like,
Yeah. They're like
No,
newts.
he's a tortoise.
turtle.
He's a tortoise. He's a land dweller.
Turtle. No.
Yeah, that's what he wants you to think,
Mhm.
though.
No, he's
No,
a
he
swamp.
is.
No, he's a swamp dweller.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
He's fucking part of the swamp, Micah.
Wow.
The
Excuse
draining
me
the
while I take
swamp.
my hat off and put it on you.
He is the
Nice color
establishment. He is fucking a swamp
red.
dweller. He's a fucking turtle. Anyway, no, lizards are just they're lazy and they just want to sit in the sun and be, you know, warm and cozy. That's all they want. People look at them and they think, oh, they're so gross and scaly. They're probably plotting our downfall. No, they're not. They're just fucking lazy. That's all lizards are.
I don't.
What you're confusing that with are those fucking rats.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
no, they're rats.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No.
I didn't know we all had personas.
Actually, I don't know what they would actually be, but they certainly would not be lizards.
I think
Lizards
they're
are
weasels.
sweet.
Weasels.
Weasels are
Weasels.
yeah, or like minks or whatever. Those little fuckers that
Why do you
like
have to fuck around with the
they're
They're
rodents.
Rodents.
Are they
Yeah.
rodents?
they
Yeah.
are. Mm-hmm.
I thought they were like in the badger family. Or is badger considered a rodent?
Badgers would probably
yeah.
be considered rodents.
I don't
Maybe.
know. Everything's like a rodent at one point. I mean, not everything, but lots of things. Not trees.
Are you sure trees weren't rodents?
I mean, you know, the thing is about
They
like,
definitely dent roads. Doesn't that make them a rodent?
we're a lot more related to like fungus than we are to like than we realize. I'll just say it that much. So that's fun.
That's fine.
Yeah.
No one hears the fungi.
Just me. And Merlin.
Merlin appreciates her dad joke, Micah.
Merlin appreciates.
Very much.
He's liking it.
All right,
Lichen?
before
Anyway.
we have too many puns
wait,
that will
wait.
wish all of our
No
listeners...
mas? No mas? Okay.
All right.
Be here all day.
For our dear listeners, this is our first episode, so hang on to your fucking hat for another 2 episodes after this one.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
boy.
sorry. Yes, Micah, you have the floor, if you want it or not.
No, he doesn't need it. It's
No,
fine.
we're done. We're done.
Are we?
We're done.
Yes,
Are
we're
we?
done.
All right, fine. Something about exams.
Yeah, we went off topic
Yeah, we did.
real quick
That's
because
fine.
you didn't have anything back on there.
Hey, I do want to say one story is that when I took exams for corporate land always had 3 sections: practical, written exam, open book written exam.
Yeah.
And the reason why
Couple.
is because they actually want you to fucking learn.
Yeah.
And so for every corporate type of thing that you need to get certified for, it's exactly what you're saying because it's
Why
really
isn't it like
important.
that?
But for academia, it's like
No,
big
they're
middle
in it
fingers for
to
everybody.
yeah, they're in it to make money. So as many people as they can without completely destroying the competition that they're trying to cultivate.
So the moral of the story, if you want a proper education, get in with the corporation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, corporations
because they
should
actually,
be running the education programs.
And as we see in
And then corporate
2022,
America becomes
the groundwork has been laid for Blade Runner.
Thanks,
There it is.
Betsy DeVos, right?
No.
Okay.
No, that just is more like Catholic schools that are paid for by everyone in America.
Yeah, which is not cool. I would not live here anymore. Fuck that noise. Anyway, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
I didn't want to be born!
I didn't
Boom,
either.
Mom!
I didn't want to be born.
Well, nobody wants to be born. Nobody.
Uh,
No-
bye, Mom.